welcome back to San Marino for episode 22 of Minnows to Kings with SS Cosmos. Been a little while since you were last with us. We've played quite a lot of games. I did say in the previous episodes that if we were just going to whitewash the league, wasn't really a lot I was going to show you. I just didn't want it to get boring, us smashing teams all the time. You can see we've played 9 league games since you were last with us. We've won them all. We've conceded 1 goal, which was a penalty, a soft penalty at that. We're in unbelievable form. We've been rotating the squad a lot as well. You see there'll be lots and lots of different goal scorers throughout these games. If we just take a look at the league table and we have a look at the full table, you can see we're comfortably in first place. We've scored 31 goals. We conceded that 1 against Juventus de Ghana, which was from the penalty spot. We've got a positive 30 goal difference. And we're currently 5 points clear at the top of the league of Murata. Couple of other items to go through. One thing I have noticed is that my job is only secure. We're absolutely dominating in San Marino. We've done really well in Europe, but we're only secure. Partly down because of the wage budget, but also because I didn't actually reach the first qualifying round of the Champions League. They're not very happy about that. They also want me to make the most of set pieces, which is only favoured, but they're only satisfied with it, despite the fact that we're absolutely dominant in the league. You'll notice another thing over here. I've actually managed to get the board to improve the training facilities, which is due to be finished in March of 2024. We're currently in November 2023, so that's really good. The professional status, it's getting ever closer, and I really can't wait. In terms of the squad, if we have a look, let me just resize these so they all fit. If we have a look at goals, you can see we've got 3 players on 7. We've got Tomasoni, the Samarese, we've got Oselli from midfield, and we've also got Filippo Frizzari. Most of his goals coming in Europe, actually. Kevin Rossi hasn't really featured as much this season for us because we've got to play those 2 Samarese players in the squad. I've been using Vanucci here, who's a player I signed not too long ago to play in that attacking midfield role so that I can get some strikers on the pitch. We've had a few of them not really happy with the playing time. Manusco Catarinella is one of them. He's one of the newer signings for us. The 22-year-old Italian there. Very good for this level. He's not really shone though. In terms of assists, it's Tenazzi, the left full-back, Oselli, who's been absolutely amazing. Yusuf and Bob on 5. And we've got Caradonna on 3. So it's been very good. Just quickly going over those transfers, the last ones that we brought in. I believe the last one you saw was Ravelli, so we have brought Mancuso Catarinella in on a free transfer. We've also brought Danilo Fabro in from the San Marino Academy. San Marino Academy actually play in Italy, which is a little bit strange, but he's been brought in. He's actually in the 20 squad. He was just sort of getting another San Marino player in the door. We've also signed Christian Lepoli, who is a Italian centre half. Great heading, marking, tackling, positioning, all good for a central defender. We've also got decisions, and he's very brave as well. Marco Nasti, another attacking option. Not the best. He's got great physicals. Mentals are okay. Technicals let him down just a little bit. And we've also got Pablo Giulio Zaffi, another central midfielder, and Mazzala. Again, he's very good for the level that we're playing at. Another young Italian. But in terms of today's game, it's going to be today's episode rather. It's going to be a double header. We're going to do the quarterfinal of the San Marino Cup against Virtus. We're going to do both legs. I thought I'd better jump in at some point in the season so that you actually get to see something. I didn't want to just fly through it all. We are dominant in the league though, so I will try and keep those to a minimum until we get to the playoffs really. But one other item is I have been looking at, I remember saying that the San Marino Super Cup is like a charity shield type of deal, which we should be in as the league winners. But it's bugged out a little bit. It says the San Marino Cup will start on Friday the 1st of September 2023. As you can see, we're in the 29th of November 2023, so something's happened to it there. It's bugged out a little bit, so it doesn't look like we're going to be in that this season. I don't know if it's something to do with the fact that I had the European run that I had. Anyway, I've talked too much. Let's get into today's game. This is the lineup we're going to go with. We're going to go with Evans in goal. No, we're not. We're going to go with Idrissi in goal because he's come to me lately complaining about first team football. Has he left? He might have left. He was complaining about first team football. I said he could go. When a bid came in for him, I demoted him back to the cup goalkeeper, but it does look like he's actually left and I've missed it. So we're going to go with Evans in goal. Then we've got Brand, Antonsen and Lupoli as the three centre-halves. Tenazzi and Caradonna, the wing-backs who have been in excellent form. We're going to go with Zaffi, Orselli in midfield. And we're going to go with Rossi, attacking midfielder. And then we're going to have our two San Marino centre-forwards. Up front for us, in terms of San Marino on the bench, just in case you wonder, we've got Vannucci there. We could do with another one really, but they're just not good enough, and I want to try and keep them in the squad to a minimum. It's not so bad in the league because we are dominating. The other 9 players on the pitch can more than make up for them, and Tomasoni and Pancotti are more than capable at this level. In terms of Europe, we don't have to play them. We don't have to play them in Europe. We do need homegrown players or spaces in the squad, but like I say, in terms of Europe, we don't have to play the San Marino players, which is obviously massive because they're not good enough for Europe. But let's get into today's game against Virtus anyway. We've got an early highlight. There's Christian Hertel, our former player at centre-half there. But it's Antonsen bringing the ball forward. It's now Lupoli who finds Zaffi. It's Tomasoni, Rossi. We're passing the ball around well in the early stages. Orselli back to Zaffi, carried on his run. And Zaffi slots it past the keeper in the 5th minute for his 2nd goal of the season. Like I said, the goal tally and assist tally is a little bit low considering we've scored 30 goals, but we're spreading them around. I've got 3 lineups which I've got saved. 3 lineups which I've got saved, and I'm just rotating through them, trying to give everybody their game time, keep the legs fresh. Obviously, once the transfer window opens and people start pinching our players, we may look to bring some more in, or we may just sort of go with what we've got. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, Virtus have a corner and it's headed off the post. It's a great header there at the near post. I missed who it was by, and that's a shot on target for Virtus. One thing that I will say about the league, I was watching it, I noticed it after the first couple of games. The first shot on target that we had against us was the penalty against Juventus Stegano. We went through the first 4 or 5 league games without even conceding a shot on target. That's just how good we were, and we have been. We're currently on in the league a 12-game unbeaten run, spreading across last season and this season. But we have scored a 2nd goal, deflected cross from Tenazzi there, and Tomasoni rises highest. The keeper's in no man's land, and Tomasoni just nods the ball in. 2-0 before half an hour. And this game is going much like the Leeds season has, where we're just dominating people. I've just noticed their lineup though. There's a few more of our former players in their lineup. We've got Hertel, we've got Santini, and we've got Mior as well. And Tenazzi, that's his 3rd one he's scored. All 3 of his goals have been these free kicks. Something of a free kick specialist. I don't think his free kick taken's even that high, to be honest. But loads of whip right in the top corner, and that is the 3rd one he's scored. If we just have a look and see what his free kick taken is, it's 7. So it's not actually that good. As I said, there's actually 4. We've got Hertel, Sartini, Salazzo and Miori there. All in their starting lineup, all former players of ours. But we're into half time and it's 3-0 to Cosmos. Another dominant performance. We've really limited their opportunities, which has been the story of our season. We're not really controlling the game possession wise, but we are just dominating teams. Now into the 51st minute, it's another highlight. It's a long ball forward by them. It's headed by Antonsen. Brand knocks it forward again. As Pancotti spun his man. What can he do with it? It's going for a long range effort. It's rattled off the crossbar, and it's going to bounce in. It is. It hit. That. What a strange goal. I've never ever seen that in Football Manager before. I've never seen that. I've never seen it bounce so high up off the crossbar and then just trickle over the line. Great effort, but that is something new to me. I don't know if the keeper got a hand to it. I don't think he did, but the spin on the ball has took it over the line. The keeper could have kept that out, really, if he tried. He really could have kept that out, but I'm not going to complain. That's 4-0 up away from home in the cup, a cup which we are looking to take control of. We want to win this every season. We want to win every game every season. Can we make it 5? Before I make some changes, we've got Virtus knocking the ball around well, but Orselli pinches the ball. He finds Pancotti, who's inside to Tomasoni. Tomasoni with a long range effort, and it's just gone over the bar. 56 minutes gone. We are going to look to make some substitutions. we're going to get some fresh legs on. We're going to bring Vanucci on just to fill that San Marino player, because I actually want to make a change. Up front, I want to get Manusco Catanarella on. I'm going to bring him on for Tomasoni, and we'll leave it at that. For now, we'll keep a substitution just in case we get an injury. Overall, I'm very, very pleased with how the season's gone. As I say, we're dominating teams. We don't look like conceding. The one goal we have conceded this season was a penalty, and I believe that the keeper actually got his hand to it as well, so we nearly didn't even concede that. Anyway, Anderson clears the ball long. It's Catarinella, sorry, with the nod down, gets the ball back and he slots it past the keeper for 5-0. And this is exactly the reason why I've skipped through so many league games. I really didn't want to just show us just a battering at every team week in, week out. Otherwise it'd get very boring very quickly. I'm going to try and save the episodes. Playoffs, Europe, obviously Europe is the big one. Based on our performance in Europe this season, our reputation across Europe is going to increase massively. We went up 60 places at the end of last season in the FIFA European rankings. I've had a quick flick through the coefficients, which I will show you before the second half of the episode. Before the second game, I'll show you the coefficients, and I'll show you that we're looking to jump up quite a long way in terms of the coefficients. We've also, as Catanarella gets his second goal of the game, or is it offside? He's given offside. The San Marino coefficients have also jumped up. They are still the lowest ranked team in Europe in terms of coefficients. We're I think 60th it's out of, but we have improved that coefficient. We are the only team who actually won a game in Europe in San Marino. The other two teams, Folgore and I believe I think it was Virtus actually, they were both knocked out in their first qualifying games of the Conference League. Anyway, can we create another goal in the final minute? Zaffi finds Catanarella, who looked offside again. Doesn't matter because he missed anyway, but he looked a mile offside. We've had a fantastic performance in the first leg with a 5-0 win, and we've managed to pick up an injury in the 92nd minute to Tanazzi. We've got Smith there to bring on in place of him. But we're now into the 94th minute of the 92 minutes that they were allocated. Obviously had a bit of a stoppage for the injury. A couple of our former players passing it around there. Are they actually going to get one back? Are they going to condemn us to our second goal conceded of the season? They are. They are indeed. That's only the second goal we've conceded all season. Virtus passed the ball around very well, and they've actually got a goal back in this tie. The referee's having a lot of time here, but that is a full-time whistle. It was a good performance, a nice 5-1 win. And there's a few league games in between now and the second leg. I'm going to play through them. I'll come back, I'll show you the coefficients, and then we'll get straight into that second leg. Right guys, let's get into the second half of the episode. Again, as promised, showing you the club coefficients here. You can see that Cosmos are currently ranked 608th in Europe. As I said, we went up 60 places at the end of last season. You can see our coefficients across the years. 22-23, when we reached the final, we did get into Europe. We gained one coefficient there. And then this season, partially thanks to our good run there in Europe, you can see we gained another 2.5, which leaves us at 3.5 overall going into next season. If you have a look at the teams above us, what they're predicted for next season, the next team that we find higher than us are Bohemians in 553rd. But again, there's teams much higher than them. I've only actually seen 3-4 teams so far, 5 above us in the coefficients. So we are due for a very, very large rise in the coefficients. If we have a look at the Nation Club coefficients, though, you can see San Marino down there in 54th. Again, we have raised that coefficient slightly, but we're not going to be overtaking anybody this season. Second leg of the Cup against Virtus here with a 5-1 lead. A couple of players have left since you were last with us. A couple of the original players in the squad. We have lost Raul Ura. He felt he wasn't good enough to be playing. We've also lost Samuel. Samuel decided he wasn't good enough to be playing. I tried to convince him to stay. and he decided not to. One thing I forgot, because my memory's awful. The couple of games since you were last with us, Libertas with a 3-0 win there, comfortable. The Murata game was very, very nervy. There was very, very few highlights happened throughout the game. You can see there it took a 93rd minute penalty for us to actually win the game. You can see stats wise we did dominate. We just didn't have any opportunities. And then most recently, 3-0 win over Tre Fiore, Oselli, Catarinella and Boubacar Diarra with the goals. And that leaves us currently 8 points clear at the top of the league. So very, very good. We've got a lot of players moaning to us about starting time as well. We've got Nasty, Catarinella for the second time, because we've signed all these players. To start player contracts, because that's all that they would sign on. And I wanted the squad. I wanted to build a decent enough squad to have a good run in Europe and to dominate the league. We've got a lot of star players, and because there's some of them aren't playing as often as they think they should be, they're starting to complain. Nasty has gone public with his complaints. There's a few of his teammates who agree, there's a few who disagree, notably the ones who actually play in the same position as him, like Minusco, Catarinella. But I am trying to resolve it. Catarinella is also unhappy with his playing time, so you can see that he's starting here today. And I'm trying to get Nasty in a few games as well, but because of the foreign player rule, I really do have to play these San Marino players. And Tomasoni takes one of those spots up front, just because I really haven't got any good San Marino players. You can see that Bonucci's still playing ahead of Kevin Rossi, again for the same reason. I do have Pancotti as well, but again he's a striker, so either one way or the other, some of my strikers are going to be unhappy. I was disappointed when Hertel left towards the end of the transfer window. He was going to actually take up this central defensive position for us, so that was at least one of the San Marino players taken up. I've also been giving Stimac a few runs in goal, just so I can get Kevin Rossi in the team, or take Tomasoni out and get those two strikers up. I should really be playing Stimac in the cup. That would have been a good idea, wouldn't it? But this is the story of some of our games this season. We're just not playing very well. I don't know if it's the tactic that we're using this season. I could always rotate it. I could move these back to a 4 and put the defensive midfielder back in there if needs be. But I'm just trying to fill the squad with the positions that we've got as best as I can and get everybody the game time the best I can. The central 3 defenders have been awesome for us this season. We've only conceded that 1 goal in the league and the 1 goal in the cup all season, other than Europe, which domestically we've conceded 2 goals all season so far, which has been fantastic. Antonsen, particularly the 6'6" Icelandic defender, but we've got Tomasoni coming through now, and he's off the inside of the post and in, and it's a great finish there by Tomasoni, again showing just how good he is for a San Marino player. It's great play through the middle with Diarra, who spreads it out wide to Smith. First time ball to Tomasoni, beats the defender to the ball, 1 touch and finish, and off the post and in. Absolutely brilliant goal. 52 minutes on the clock. I'm going to look to make some changes. I want to get some of these players on. We're going to bring Pancotti on for Catarinella. We're also going to get Marco Nasty on up front, just to get him some game time. That means that I now can't bring Kevin Rossi on, because I've got my 2 San Marino players there. I don't have any more. My squad's literally got 3 of them in it. Which, again, I've said it many times before, I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, as we actually conceded our 3rd goal of the season. 2 of them have been against Virtus. Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself constantly, but it's a building process. Once we get some money in the bank, we can upgrade the youth facilities. We can hopefully get a much better youth intake come through. I know that we're still in San Marino. The quality of the players isn't going to be that great, but I need to have some of them in the squad. domestically, it's not a problem, and in Europe it's not a problem because I don't have to play them anyway. But next season is going to be very, very interesting with the hopeful professional status. I always thought you needed over £1 million in the bank. But as Vanucci there gets his 5th goal of the season, I always thought you needed at least £1 million in the bank. But when the board agreed to do it, I think we had about 300,000 in the bank. We have gone over that million since then. However, with the improvement to the training facilities, that cost us about 400k. So we are around about £900,000 mark now in terms of finances. So I hope that doesn't actually cancel out I've clicked the wrong thing there. I hope that doesn't actually cancel out the professional status. That would be disappointing. As Antonsen there, the 6'6" Icelandic defender, gets his 4th goal of the season. He really should be scoring more for his height, but his heading ability isn't great considering just how tall he is. But he does get on that one, not to pass the keeper inside at the near post. I wanted latest scores. There we go. I want to see who else is doing well in the cup. Folgore this season, by the way, down in 12th place in the league. 12th place in the league, back-to-back winners, of course. The season before we joined, and our first season, when they beat us in the final. But they're currently in 12th in the league. They're not having the best of seasons. Antonsen has really struggled for match fitness in the last couple of games. He might need a little bit of a rest. We're going to bring Bobby Dean on. Antonsen is also an Icelandic under-21 international, so he does go away on international duty as well, which is obviously using his legs up a little bit more. But he is still only a young man. I remember when I was that age, I was running around all the time playing football. Now, you know, it's a 5-second burst and then walk around for half an hour. Getting old. But anyway, convincing 3-1 win. I'm disappointed to concede again. That's twice we've conceded against Virtus now in the space of a couple of matches. Folgore do actually go through 4-2 on aggregate, but if we just have a look at Folgore, you can see they are currently 12th in the league. They've had a really poor run. They haven't actually played us yet. That's our next game. But they're just really not playing very well. They must have lost. They did. They lost a lot of their players. This Rotella taken a few players off me in the past as well. We also took Pancotti off them, you know. So they have brought a lot of players in though, but all from San Marino clubs. There's only so much quality in San Marino. That seems to be what happens. All the players move around. They move around, just different San Marino clubs. But yes, it's a fall from grace for Folgore. It would be disappointing if they miss out on the playoffs altogether. We're going to praise Pancotti, 2 assists, absolutely brilliant. We're just going to click forward to the draw, see who we get in the semi-final, which will more likely be our next episode with the semi-final. The league is a bit of a dead rubber, really. So is the cup, to be fair. But you know, I need to get some episodes in. Anyway, we're drawing out first. We are going to be at home against Penarossa, and then it's Folgore against Trapeni. Penarossa this season are currently sat in 6th place in the league on 17 points. So that is today's episode. We will be back for those Penarossa semi-finals. It's towards the end of the season. We're also going to have if we beat Penarossa, we'll have the final. Then we've got the playoffs. But you don't need to see any of these league games. They're just going to be the same as the rest of the season's gone, which you can see is just all full of green. So season 3 is going to be rather short in terms of episodes. But that is it for today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, please leave a like. Any comments, any feedback, greatly appreciated. I've been Dean, and thanks for watching, guys. See you later.